Hello, and you're welcome to yet another edition of African Politics Unfiltered Conversation on Cleveland TV. My name is Frank Alidemu. Like always, I like to remind you to keep signing up with us on www.cleveland.com. All right. Today, my guest this afternoon is Prince Debo Adesina. He is the founder of LLM Security Services and also founder Nigeria Lives Matters. All right, and I will be discussing his closeness to Nigerians. All right, you're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, sister. How are you?
I'm good. All right, let's start with this. I've just mentioned your name and all that. Please, let's have an introduction from you. Who is Mr. Prince Debo Adesina?
Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Like you mentioned, my name is Prince Debo Adesina. I'm a Nigerian. I reside in Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm a security consultant. Well, sometimes I've been tagged as a security expert. I'm also the founder of Nigeria Lives Matter, and also I'm fully involved in anything that has to do with the migrant community here in South Africa. It gives me the opportunity to be given the role as a brand ambassador for African Diaspora Forum. I'm a father of beautiful 3 children, and I thank God for that.
It's like good to have you with us. All right, let's get to hear your journey into the Nigeria political terrain.
Well, I've been in the Nigerian politics, being a man that lives in diaspora. I joined a political party called People Democratic Party since inception. That was 1998. I became very active in diaspora from the year 2005. So when I was in Nigeria, I chose the party based on the ideology, and that has to do with a party that covers the whole Nigeria, not tribal. Is not a party that is for few selected people. But I mean, I thank God that the party has given me the opportunity to serve in the capacity as the former deputy chairman of PDP in South Africa, and I played a big role in bringing the Yorubas to be part of PDP in South Africa.
So can you share with us some pains and gains in being a member of PDP in South Africa?
Well, in South Africa, like you've mentioned, in South Africa, we've pushed to a level of the opportunity for Nigerians to vote in diaspora, participated in pushing for the bill back in Nigeria, but that has not really come to pass. But and I've done lots of interviews, even in Nigeria, clamoring for Nigerian diaspora to be part of the leadership back home. So in South Africa, we've done a lot of things. We've hosted the former president, President Jonathan Goodluck. We've hosted a lot of chieftains like Bamanga Tukor, and we've participated in charity as an organization. Even though we are a political party, even the last COVID-19 pandemic, the organization was fully involved, led by the president, led by the chairperson, which then I was the deputy chairman, Honorable Echoes. So, party as a political party, we've done well. But my journey has not been limited to South Africa. That led to me going to contest in the politics. The recent the just concluded election in Nigeria.
Yeah. All right, you just mentioned the just concluded election, and most people will have it that the reason why we had so much irregularities in the last election was because of the troubles in your party, which is the PDP. Can you relate one or two of these troubles with us, and maybe ways you guys try to solve the issues?
Well, to be honest, thought it was going to be um, we thought it was going to be just one of those fights among the leaders, but this thing led to the failure of the party when we have some sitting governors call themselves the G5 that chose to not decamp, but they chose to be campaigning for another political party. In fact, two parties were chosen by the five governors. We have the ones that supported the APC, and we have the one that supported the LP, which was the movement of Labour Party, which was the movement of a former our former vice president candidate. I'm talking about Excellency Honorable Obi, and that gave us a very. We were so worried when the whole thing were just turning around, and in Lagos State, which I contested, another ball game. Lagos State has never won an election for the political one since inception. We have lots of big players there, which after my involvement for the past 2-3 years going to Nigeria, even before I I participated, I saw it coming that the big players in Lagos seems not to know exactly what they are doing. It's like they make PDP as a cash out, whereby they only after making money to their own names, not for the party winning the party, winning for the party. So we failed totally in this last election, which made some of us to revolt to say, you know what, I think the high time has come for us to sweep off the so-called leaders in Lagos State because they're only there just to carry the umbrella, but they're not using the umbrella to cover all the party faithful.
So how deeply did this internal conflict actually your performance in the last election?
You know, like I've mentioned, you know, when the house is not settled, I don't think you should expect. We've got, in fact, we had a very wonderful candidate. I'm talking about Honorable Jandor, because I call him Jide. Wonderful young man. In fact, he brought another face of forward thinking into the game. He came with his own style. But you know, a house that is divided will never give a good result. The man tried. In fact, I was with his team because I was also part of his campaign council from
and that's for Lagos State now, right? Lagos State.
For Lagos State. Yeah. Yes, I can tell you more about Lagos State because that's where I participated. Okay. I chose to stay in Lagos more than thinking about what is going to happen at the national level because we are given the instruction that we must win our polling units. You know, so with the instruction of winning your polling unit, we all chose to work to deliver our polling units because His Excellency, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, spoke to everybody that go and win your polling unit for me, not just coming to Abuja, you know. And I saw the crisis coming from the Ekiti side, which I was fortunate to be part of the campaign council for the Ekiti election. But because of some other big players in Ekiti, like the former governor, Ayofoye Oshe, that came out openly to work against the party. And that one also gave me another, how will I say, headache to say, you know what? It's like these people in my political party, they're not serious to win election. Because how will a former governor that was able to serve the people of Ekiti for 8 years doing an underground anti-party. And later he came out open. He's not going to give our presidential candidate support. So I saw everything was just more like child's play. You know, this one is doing his own, this one is doing his own. So, but my own Lagos, in fact, became something very dirty when we started having some leaders from the ward level using the money that was meant for the election to do their own personal things. And we have the people at the state level, local government level, taking money that belongs to the party for us to deliver, to turn it to their own personal money. So it's very sad. So hopefully, with what is going on in Lagos State, the youths coming up to say, you know what, enough is enough for these guys. We have to take care of ourselves and make the party work for us.
Right. Did you see any tribal sentiment coming into play in the same past election we are discussing now?
Are you talking about generally?
Sorry?
Or within my party? Are you talking about generally or within my party?
Yeah, generally. Let's say generally.
Well, you know, it's very sad. The politics in Nigeria seems to be crawling. And when something is crawling, it might take time to stand up. And when it stands, to move again, to take another phase. You see, the tribal, in fact, I have some shifting in my party in South Africa that they started flagging Labour Party just because of Obi, you know. So the tribal, the religious sentiment played very big role in the last election. We have my people, I'm a Yoruba man, though, you know, our people used to say, meaning in the Yoruba language, no matter what our child or our son or daughter looks like, we have to give support. And but because I'm a party man, I would have loved to play that tribal role, but I chose never to do such because I know it might be my turn in future. And I mean, the religion, the tribal thing crept in. And a lot of people started saying, no, it's the turn of the Igbo. What is Atiku doing when the Fulani? But we were able to tell them to say, you see what? APC is another political party. PDP, an Hausa man that, an Hausa Fulani man that ruled via the PDP political party was the late Yaradua. And he only ruled, I mean, he led the country for less than 3 years. So in our own party, the time for what they call it, the Fulani to lead is now. So forget about the general perspective. And besides that, our Nigerian constitution did not say or stipulate that we should be talking about tribal religion. Any Nigerian, in fact, like I was telling some people that was trying to drag my leg, I said, wow, I'm not happy with the way the result of the election was translated, because to me, we felt this thing was I mean, the election was selected to deliver Bola Tinubu Jagaban. But at the same time, I will tell the people, well, a Nigerian has won, just to neutralize my own stand, to say, not a Sudanese, not a Malawian, not a Ghanaian, a Nigerian has won. So let's give him a way of support. But at the same time, deep inside me, I want the real thing. I want the original result. I want something that people will know that, okay, truly we are practicing full democracy in Nigeria, not the one that has to do with, oh, he's from Igbo land, I'm a Yoruba man, he's a Muslim, I'm a Christian, so we have to vote in this direction. We have to, otherwise, there will not be any point of having one president.
Exactly. It's
Then we should
obviously
now be
not
talking
helping us
about,
as a country.
yeah, so we should now be talking about regional participation in the Nigerian polity. So if I want to now attend to my people now as a Yoruba man, then I should go and vie for the position in the Southwest. So I know I'm going to deal with the Yoruba. Then an Igbo man will go to his own region. But the way we want to present ourselves on the international stage, to say we are one, and coming to say Nigeria is one is the best thing that could happen to us as people.
It's all right. So let's get to hear of your next political ambition.
Well, you see, I used to call myself a seasonal politician, but now it seems to me that to be a politician in Nigeria, you have to be fully on ground. So for the past 3 years, in fact, I just came back some few weeks back. I was in Nigeria for almost 3 months, from January to March. And my ambition is to see how I can be of help to my people. And you know, charity begins at home.
Exactly.
So for me to participate at the top level, I have to first look after my people in my constituency and my local government. So I started from the House of Assembly in order to see if I should win my constituency, I will be part of the game changer on at the state level. You know, so now with the look of things, I'm trying to position myself for the local government uh, election that will be coming. Since we all failed in Lagos State, and guess what? I'm a very lucky chap. I was born in Lagos. That gives me the opportunity to say, okay, Lagos is my place. But my state of origin is Osun State. And now that Osun State has practically grabbed everything for my party, I'm looking forward to return back home. You say, you know what? If these people in Lagos are playing cards, I think I will go home. We have people like Aregbe that he was a big player in Lagos State. And he later moved to Osun State. And he was the governor for 8 years before he became the minister. So nothing stops me to look into that direction. But before I would do that, guess what? I promised my people in Koshofe local government and some of my other big players in other local government in Lagos State that, you know what, let's come together and fight those people that are destroying the Lagos State PDP. We are not fighting them in violence. We are going to do a non-violent fight in order to, in fact, I wrote it on our WhatsApp group to say, you know what, we're going to retire them and place them on salary so that they can allow we youths to look after ourselves. Because the time has come and that change must come, not the change that is fake, like the one the APC government promised during the Buhari, that change, and nothing has changed.
So do you still see PDP rising above these problems and internal conflicts?
Why not? In fact, you see, I always tell people, when you fall, that same spot where you fell, you can as well rise from that. So PDP, for now, we are not used to being opposition, but we started learning after the almost 8 years of the APC. And my likely for APC to also rule for another 4 years. And we should be preparing hard to say, come 2027, we have to use everything humanly possible. I'm talking about positively, something that will bring the real change for our people to take the power if eventually or paraventure Bola Tinubu being given the opportunity to be the president come May 29. If he become the president, as they've already announced that he's the president-elect, while some of our people say he's president-elect. But to me, he's a Nigerian.
Yes, exactly.
Let's give him support. Let's give him support. But what I want to see is somebody that will give my people from our commonwealth, so that they will use it to transform the country. I'm living here in South Africa. I'm enjoying good life here. But going to Nigeria is another story that, in fact, I'm not. In fact, if I should share it with you here, you might choose to cry on this live television because I saw it. I practically got involved in seeing what the people are really going through. So I removed my executive, my honorable jacket, and I was part of the people on the streets. I started going from one spot to another. I use Okada, I use Marua, I use Waragon, Faragon, or what they call those buses. I left my executive car to say, you know what, let me go and see exactly what these people are feeling. I don't want to be that honorable member that does not really know what the people are feeling, facing. You know, I've sat in the traffic for 4 hours, you know, and I saw it. I can see the stress, the mental problem people are going through. In fact, I can tell you, 85% of adults in Nigeria, they've got high blood pressure in Nigeria. In fact, mental sickness should be added again. That is what my people are going through in Nigeria.
It's all right. You actually need to know what the people are going through, how they experience this life on a daily basis before you start thinking of profiling solutions to their problem. The truth is this: if you don't really know what they are going through, how do you profile the solution? It's all right. We'll take a short break here, and we'll come back. We'll continue with the conversation. Audience, please stay with us.
Let's sell on your behalf. If your item sells on our web shop, you pay a 10% commission plus the transaction fees, and you get the rest. Register now at www.shop.clevenard.com. Start uploading your product and services. We can really sell it on your behalf so you can carry on working on the things important to you. Are you looking to sell any type of product or service and you want to avoid the hassle involved? Selling can be an arduous and time-consuming process. At Clevenard Super Shop, we will be happy to take over the workload of promoting or selling your products or services. All you need to do is to register at www.shop.clevenard.com, enter your shop or vendor information, and then start uploading your product and services. We will do the selling. Now, be ready to get more sales and awareness. Start making more money from your business with Clevenard Super Shop by partnering with us today.
All right, well, welcome back to the program, and we're still with Prince Adesina on the show. All right, before we went on the short break, you were actually trying to describe the life of a common man on the street. And I remember I did make mention of the fact that before you can proffer solution to any problem, you have to know what the problem is in the first place. All right, now with your own assertion of the people, all right, so the ordinary man on the street out there is trying to make one end means or the other. What kind of leadership do you think Nigeria needs at this crucial period?
Well, I'll be very honest with you. I want to see a leader. In fact, I would like to see leaders that have this empathy for the people in Nigeria. Let me take you back to the period of COVID-19. Here in South Africa, the government provided a lot of stuff for their citizens, while in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. We heard about food that were meant for the people that was actually kept in some individual garages, I can say warehouses, and listening to that or seeing the pictures or seeing the videos gave me that strength to say, you know what, I have to go into that country of mine and participate to be part of the people that will start the full change that we are looking for. But I will also tell you in a very simple form, the rich also cry in Nigeria. Let's start from the roads. Sometimes when I take my car, I love driving myself a lot. And you drive yourself. Maybe you program to be in Apapa from Bagada. And the cuckoo will tell you in the next 45 minutes you should be in Apapa. Guess what? You might end up spending 5 hours. That was the time I left. I had to return because I could not get to Apapa from where I was coming from. I was actually coming from Ikoyi. I saw it on the Google that the road is better now. By getting to around Costain, I was, in fact, I have to take my way back to Ikorodu Road and start running back to Bagada. So the rich also cry. Okay? We're talking about, you see, when time is not well spent, I don't see how the economy will work for individuals. Let me say, for instance, I have something to go and sell in Apapa, and I'm already in Bagada. And I checked, and it gave me an opportunity to say, go, you'll be there in the next 45 minutes to deliver. And I end up turning back. So how am I going to make money in case I want to go and deliver? Let's say, for instance, I want to go and deliver food to clients, you know. So the rich also cry. Things are not really working the way it's expected. The road I shared with the common men in Nigeria is the same road some of the leaders. But what I've picked among the leaders is like they are in a court whereby they've decided not to help the people of Nigeria. It's like they just felt, you know what, let's see them crying every day. Can you imagine on the Tom Mainland Bridge? I will see my people running to sell gala and pure water, and they will be there for hours. In fact, what baffles me most of the time, I say, how do they know that there's going to be traffic? So they survive through the traffic. From Lekki Phase 1 to Aja, you might spend 3 hours. In fact, do you know you can easily buy everything that you want to use to cook on the roadside? From your nama, that's the meat, with pepper, with red oil. You understand? People coming from work, they will just, in fact, a friend of mine said, you know what? I've not visited markets for years. I said, then how are you surviving? Okay, you are buying online. He said, online what? I'm buying on roadside. While driving at home, I'll be calling on Malata, come here. I'm on, you understand? So that is how bad it is. I think the revolution that we need in Nigeria is not going to be like the NSAS one, where people will be destroying. Because when you destroy, you end up giving these criminals, the so-called criminals among our leaders, to use that one to steal money again. But if we can gather ourselves, you see, obedient movement is just a face of Obi. To me, I was telling a lot of people, Obi is not the right candidate at that moment of the obedient movement. Obi will have queued behind his boss, his former principal, and pretend, I use the word pretend, to get into the power because the obedient movement actually gave room to APC failed government, you understand, to win again. I'm not going to shy away to say all those things because I participated. I'm talking from the experience, you understand. So it now made my party to be election to be splitted, a result to be splitted. That gave APC the opportunity because I look at it. Okay, they rigged, they did this thing. It's only when you give room for rigging, you understand, and you can only rig when you see the opportunity, and the opportunity has always been there since Obi when left the PDP. So all these things that happened now gave me another energy to say, you know what, we should start working now for 2027. Diaspora must lead. We in diaspora, we should start preparing ourselves to get to that our country, Nigeria, and tell our people, listen here, we will sing good life. We are not coming to suck your blood, but we are coming to release the milk so that everybody will enjoy together. Because if you are doing well, I have a list of people that I have to feed every month. I'm tired. You understand? When they can easily get their own milk within the Nigeria premise. But I have to start thinking of how I'm going to buy for this, buy for that. And if you don't do it, the next thing, that man is stingy. Or he's in Obodo Imbo. But they don't know what we are going through as well.
Yeah.
We're paying tax.
Yeah,
In Nigeria, they pay less tax.
You just made mention of, in your discussion, you said something, you said the rich also cry. And I'm so happy you've tested both sides of the world, the high and the low side. And so you're able to understand one or two things. But when you say the rich also cry, I would want to say, fine, the rich also really cry. But the thing is that they cry at different levels. Now, you can't compare the cry of those at the top with those you meant at the top, male and rich. All right. And most of us, or most people, believe that the reason for all this is because of the gap, all right, between the leader and then the people that it tends to be governing. All right. So now, how do you think in Nigeria we can start bridging this gap to make sure that the gap between the leaders and then the people are not too apart?
You know, I used to have that belief that we have the lower, the middle class, and the upper class. But it seems that the middle class is already faded. You get what I'm saying? So now we have the people at the extreme end of success, and we have the people at the downside of poverty. You see, that gap is for the people at the bottom to now make up their mind, okay, not to allow the politician that comes every 4 years to whisk, how will I say, they come every 4 years, lie to them, okay, give them money that they will not even spend for a month, buy their conscience, okay. So for us to solve this problem, the people themselves, I'm talking about the mekunus, like the way they call us, that we are the lower side. Because I've not been fortunate to be at the top level in Nigeria. The luck I have is because I managed to leave that country to go and fight for greener pasture. But if I tell you, I still have 80% of people that I look after in Nigeria. So that doesn't make me a man that reached the apex. So I can feel them. Mosquito bites me like the common people in Nigeria, because let's say my area in Bagada is mosquito infected arena. Not like in some areas where you see everybody is, I mean, maybe they've expelled the whole mosquito in the mosquitoes in their arena. So the people in Nigeria must also, in fact, what happened at the last presidential election, I saw people voting for Labour Party because of Obi, and they were not giving anything for the votes. Not like in my party, they are expecting, even the party members, they are expecting the candidates to give them money. You get what I'm saying? So we have to first wash ourselves, dry clean ourselves. In fact, if we have to wet clean, we go to the river, clean ourselves, and say we want the right thing to happen. Without that, the leaders with the money and the power will continue to manipulate. You see what is happening now? Two big boys are fighting to be the Senate president. And these two guys, they've got criminal record in terms of with EFCC. Akpabio wants to be Senate president. Odiwuzo Kalu. These are former governors. You understand what I'm saying? And the EFCC is still battling with their cases. And they want to be number third. After the president, the vice president, the Senate. They want to be the number 3 in that country. Are we? You understand? They are not even supposed. They're supposed to hide them, their face. They should just go and hide somewhere and allow the people. We see a few among these people, the senators, the House of Rep, that really wants to help the Nigerians. But guess what? Where we have a lot of criminals, you understand? The good ones will not prosper. And that is what
exactly. Yeah.
Seen.
So let's take this conversation down to the Sudan, the situation currently in the Sudan as it stands now, where we have lots of people being killed and then thousands of Nigerians and the Nigerian students being stranded in the place. How do you, as a security expert, how do you rate what is going on in Sudan presently?
Yo, my sister, I've received a lot of calls from fellow Nigerians because of my NGO called Nigerian Lives Matter. To be very honest, yesterday when I was listening to one of the students, they say, I wept. There's something the guy said. He said, we are the border between Sudan and Egypt. And the Egyptian, let me say the Egyptian securities, the Egyptian security apparatus, whether it's immigration, whether it's their soldier, whether it's Navy, I don't know, they did not allow them to even cross for safety. Then I asked myself in the discussion, what is the role of AU, African Union? I've been fortunate to be part of AU. I attended AU Summit in the year 2015. In fact, I was fortunate to be with Mr. President. We're together at the lift. I was there at the dinner. I participated in all their sessions. But guess what? I think to me, AU is just the big boys club. Because at this junction, the Egyptian government should know that these people, they are human beings, they are Africans, not only Nigerians, because I was told over 7,000 human beings without food, without water, without food. We have the youth, we have the children. My dear sister, don't let me cry because it's touching me, because I'm a very simple man that when I see things like that, it touches my heart. I saw Honorable Abike Dabiri. She's a sister. I used to have good relationship with her. I used to, in fact, I was having another notion against the woman. But with this Sudan one, I felt her deep inside that it's not that if she has the power herself, if she has the power herself, if she can fly as a mother to say, you know what, everybody, just try to walk on with my wings and fly them down, she will do it. But now we have some people already, they will be calculating what they are going to steal from the $1.2 million that the government has given. You understand? So with me, what I believe the AU should declare all the borders around Sudan to be open to foreigners that are living in Sudan. They might not give the opportunity to the Sudanese that they will give to others. I'm not saying Sudanese should not be given that refuge. But guess what? They are just like Nigeria is managing the issue of Boko Haram in the northern part. You understand? They should be able to look into their own ceasefire and make it permanent. But as I speak to you, being security experts has nothing to do with what is happening in that part of the world. What we're going to be talking about is the humanitarian intervention. I was first blaming the Nigerian government because of what just an NGO called the Gift of the Givers in South Africa has already deployed people to go and look for the South Africans and some other Africans to be assisted. That is more like a Muslim organization called the Gift of the Givers. They make their own money from well-meaningful people. They donate and they give. You can listen, the Gift of the Givers. So they collect and they give. And they've tried, in fact, they are still busy doing that. Just like we have our brother Oyema, Airpeace, trying to put down, yes, his own airline, his own plane to carry our people. So it's very sad. So the President Buhari, should be able to speak on the presidential level. If the ambassador level, the ministerial level is not working, instead of him flying all over the world doing his own thing, to say my people are there. And guess what? Most of the people that are stranded, I will be very honest with you, mostly are from North. You understand? Because I was told that the Borno state government, now they've started doing it state by state. I saw a clip of a Yoruba crying. The Yoruba governors should come and rescue us because the other counterparts in the northern part of Nigeria, they've started coming to repatriate their people. Are we having one country now? Is it not obvious that the country called Nigeria, we need to give a holistic approach to see how we can really make it work as people? Or are we going to go back to that real federalism? So the Sudan case has also exposed the Nigerian government to say, for sure, that country needs a very, how will I say, a spirited leader that will see every soul, every human being to be, not just to say, oh, the Hausa man is the Yoruba man, but someone that will see to say, hey, this is a human being. We have to look after this person.
All right, now let's look at what the challenge, what the Nigerian leaders' challenge is in evacuating these people. You just made mention of Oyema, which is the owner of Airpeace, and a few days back we learned that he actually released an airplane to evacuate these people. But in the report, it was still recorded that the Egyptian government, or is it the airlines now, they are not allowing them to land their planes in their country so that these people can be picked from that location. Now, whose responsibility is it to negotiate these connections? And what is keeping the Nigerian government? What are the constraints? What are the how do you put it now? What are the challenges that they are not meeting up to their responsibilities?
You see, I think I will go back to AU level again. You see, the AU as a body should be the one that will intervene. Guess what? Is that the people of the North Africa, they are not really seeing themselves as part of the black people on the continent. I'll be very honest with you. What I've noticed, what is happening now, you see, I have lots of Egyptian friends. One of my best friends here in South Africa is an Egyptian guy, lovely brother of mine. I have the Algerians, I have Moroccans. You understand? Guess what? Their color, in terms of the complexion, is totally different. You understand? So I believe for them to they have this tendency of racism, hatred for black people. You understand what I'm saying? Because if an Egyptian, let me say, a Moroccan or an Algerian person, or let's say the Algerian citizen, if they are the people at that border, I promise you they will open their borders. All their borders will be open for them to come in. But they are looking at the people coming to say, hey, if we should allow these people, they might end up not leaving their country. I don't know what they've got in their country. You understand? Maybe, Nigerians, we are not lucky as people when it comes to going to other country. Before you get visa to go to this country, even ordinary Ghana that we used to call our brothers, they are chasing Nigerians' house. So I will not actually blame Nigerian government, but I will blame that body called AU. AU should have come into that rescue mission to say our people of the continent. This is within the continent, not from Europe, not from Asia, Africa to Africa. Africa in the same Africa, the same continent. You understand? Nigerian government, what I heard, I was told that they managed to secure the landing, the procedure to land your aircraft is already sorted. But who are you going to pick when they are not opening the border where the people walk in? So the ceasefire, which I believe can last any time from now, because the people that they've moved for almost 4 hours journey to 6 hours, the way I was told, they are still by the Sudanese side in the desert, no water, no food. And these people are standing to say, in fact, Madam Abike Dabire says something that they just want it. Okay? And in fact, they can even escort them to the plane. You understand? Without even giving them opportunity to run away. But I don't think any of the Nigerians there wants to run away because they don't even know where to run to. They would prefer to go home. Guess what? I enjoy my eba and amala or whatever in Nigeria, even if it is hard to live. Our Nigerians, in fact, Nigerians they know how to endure. So there's no place like home. So the AU should intervene. And we have key players. The guy that is heading the security, the ambassador heading the AU, is a Nigerian. I've not heard him talking. A friend of mine was challenging him recently. He was calling him to say something, push something. Our officials should be on ground, but they're only keen for their own incentives, not to save the lives of my people. So I'm very, very, my heart is bleeding. You can see I'm very passionate about my people. And that's when when I formed Nigerian Life Matter, started in South Africa because of the xenophobic attack on the Nigerian people in South Africa. And I stood firm against the South African government. It's all over.
All right, we'll actually come to that. Nigerian Lives Matter. We're going to give you enough time to talk on that. Yeah, sufficient time to talk on that. But let's take another short break. We'll come back from the break. The conversation will continue.
In the 21st century's technological advancement, we all seek opportunities to move and network with the emerging space. Introducing Clevenard Blog and Event Posting. Do Do you think you have some interesting materials, good content, articles, and stories? Then feel free to publish them on Clevenard blog and events page, just as team of our writers are doing presently. By blogging on Clevenard's blogs and events, you benefit from our reach and network. There are constant stream of people visiting our social platform, and we have figured out just how to distribute our contents. This means you can basically skip the line and get access to a big audience from day one. Furthermore, we can help you get in touch with important people for projects with possibilities of translating your content into other languages and republishing them on Clevenard. This helps preserve and protect your content from getting lost. What's more, you also get to be part of our team with access to our network and lots of exclusives, behind the scenes information. And of course, you get full credit for everything you do, which brings you popularity and make extra income. Sign up now on clevenard.com and start blogging to your advantage. Please see the tutorial video on how to blog or post events on Clevenard blogs and events. For more information, contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com. Clevenard, your blogs, your identity.
All right, you're welcome back, and the conversation is still on the Sudan experience. All right, Prince Adesina. Now, many Nigerians are actually very hot now, all right, because of the past election we just witnessed, and most of them are crying blood, right? They want bloodshed, they want fight, they want wars, and other sorts of things, just to make sure that, because in their own mentality, they think fighting is going to change the government or the leadership structure in the country. But now, taking a look at the Sudan experience now, the evolving of the things going on in Sudan, what do you think Nigeria should learn from it? Is war an option in Nigeria?
You see, to be very honest, Nigerians, we are not going to be like Sudan people. Nigerians believe so much in prayers. Nigerians will not go to that level. The people that participated in the past during the civil war, they are still regretting till today. You will see what is happening in Sudan. We are talking about the paramilitary and the military. Who are the paramilitary? These are the set of people that were loyal to the former president of the country. I don't want to be mentioning names. You understand? And the current one and the military that with the current government fighting. We as people, Nigerians, will rather go to the church and to the mosque and start calling the Almighty to solve our problems. We can endure things. In fact, that country, I always thank God that which other African country would have been passed if not Nigeria. Because what has happened in Nigeria in the past few years, if it is in other countries, like even the country that I live, South Africa, they would have scattered everywhere. Like the last election, everybody thought it was going to be bloodshed. I was there live and direct. I voted. In fact, during the governorship, I mounted the goalpost for my party. So people, I think maybe we have that fear of, I don't want to be killed. I don't want to be beaten. In fact, Nigerians are so, we have this this fear in us. Say, who sent you? No, no, God forbid. I will not do anything. Who could go face this thing? That's when you see our pidgin English really, playing the role of
always looking for someone to bail the cat.
Yes. So the answers that happened, I can promise you, that one must have been triggered by the third force. You get what I'm saying? But generally, we will not. And I don't see Nigeria coming to a level to be, in fact, to be compared with Sudan or any drifting war zone on the continent. We Nigerians, we have religion as our solace. We use it as a solace to say, I will go to church now. I will go and be calling God to come and intervene. Oh, I will go to the mosque to go and do, oh, Allah, assist us in taking this thing away from us. So I don't want to have that belief that we should start comparing ourselves with Sudanese. We don't have that heart. In fact, I would just say my tribe. We are too ajebos. We want to just do things. Oh no, I don't want. No, not your
Even while drinking Gary and granuts, we are still playing the ajebol.
Oh, my dear sister, you see the career and this thing. I love it so much. I love it. It's very, very beautiful. If I put my career and
is that right? Let's look at security in Nigeria itself, and it is no longer news. So many things going on in different areas in Nigeria, and you are a security expert. Now, how much priority do you think should be given to security in Nigeria by this current administration?
Amen. I'm very excited for this question. You know, I have my private security here in South Africa called LLM Security Services. Comparing South Africa in the area of security with Nigeria is what I'm going to say. In South Africa, we have the Metropolitan Police. We call them Metro. And we have the SAPs. The Metro is being managed and controlled by the local government. And we have the province police as well, which is being monitored like by the states. Then we have the country police, which is SAPs. You see, they work hand in gloves. They work together. You see, the role they are playing. And guess what? They have one of the best private security in the world, South Africa. As I speak with you, I'm licensed to carry any form of firearm in South Africa. I'm ready to protect my family before calling the police. Opposite is in Nigeria. In Nigerian case, is opposite. If you should try to even have what they call taser, this one that you have, even pepper spray, you will see the policeman say, you're carrying gadgets. In fact, you might be in a big mess. So the federal government, if at the end of the day, the only thing that will make me to participate with APC government, where I can easily remove my jacket of the political party that I belong to serve, is in the area of security. Because safety, I always tell people, security, my slogan is easy. Security is my business, peace is my mission. So if the government asks me to come and work on the area of security, I promise you I will be very glad to work for the opposition in order to save my people. I will not say, oh, because I'm an PDP, I will not be part of APC. The current, in fact, the incoming president, I don't want to mention name or party. The first thing they should do now is to put a big budget on two things: education and security. Two, education and the security. Do you know why I chose education first? That will enlighten the Nigerian people how to work on themselves in terms of safety. Here, I went to school here to study security management. And you can as well go to school here to learn about your safety, how you're going to keep yourself. There's some certain things that we do in Nigeria that you will never see people in South Africa to do. We like to flash. When you have money, you go to club, you start spraying. In South Africa, you will never see the local spraying. You've already created a form of insecurity for yourself. Okay, you got money, they'll start chasing you. They'll start losing. I tell most of my interviews, I will tell people, I'll say, you know what? Hey, people are now saying kidnapping in Nigeria. It's a big franchise. It's bigger than McDonald's. It's bigger than McDonald's or KFC. Some people, they are not really trained kidnappers, because we know the kidnappers that is their job, like the assassins, that they are trained to kill. But they choose it says, since I've been going to Nigeria, you understand, my people will be asking me, you know your way in and out. If not because of God, let me start from there, and my experience in how to secure myself, I should have been kidnapped. I've been to every part of the country. You get what I'm saying? I've been to Anambra State to attend the function. We even paid for the hotel. We are coming back to stay, whereas we are leaving that particular hour. Even if they are going to be waiting for us at the hotel, we are already gone. I've been to Agbo to attend another function. So I've moved on the road to Abuja, because sometimes I will check my wallet to start flying. I will be scared of my local flights in Nigeria. Before the plane will go and drop all the sky. Then you're talking about train, another issue. So the new government coming to invest more on security. And guess what? They just need to educate people more about how to be safe, how to keep to yourself, how to manage whatever you have. Don't go and show off too much to say, I've arrived, this is me, I can be this, I can be that. With that, I think security, we are going to have it beautiful. So it can happen.
All right, thank you so much. We're actually behind and schedule. We're calling up for time up and all that. But I'd like you to leave us with a last word. How much does Nigerian lives, all right, the average Nigerian, how much does that life really matters in Nigeria? Just the last one, a quick one at that.
Well, to me, the government, they are doing below the standard of helping Nigerians, because I will just relate it with the last COVID-19, where Nigerians were actually, they came out not to even respect government as per stay at home, because they could not feed themselves. So they have to go back to the streets and start hawking and doing their daily things. If the government really wants to secure their lives, they will have prepared and use the wealth that belongs to us and look after our people. So our government should have it at the back of their mind. If they don't have people to govern, then they will be leading the empty space of Nigeria. The Nigerian lives matter.
All right, thank you so much, Prince Debo Adesina. Thank you for being on our program this afternoon. It was a beautiful time spent with you.
You are welcome, sister.
All right, audience, we draw the curtain here for now. Till another edition of this program, I remain Frank and to have a blessed day.